it's just begun.
Racing together, we're having fun. Racing together, having fun. In the pit lane, the engines roar. Driving GT3, we crave for more. Season one's electric, the thrilling nights. Racing hearts under the floodlit nights. Adrenaline rush, we're breaking free. Side by side, it's you and me. Oh, we're driving towards the sun. Fasten your belts, this race has begun. We're chasing victory, fueled by the dream. When we're united still, we're a winning team. Drifting through curves, feeling alive. Every lap's a battle, we strive to survive. With the crew behind, we're setting the pace. No, we know we stand in this fierce race.
All right, everyone. I hope you enjoyed that intro. About 5 minutes of fun. I got to tell you, want to give a shout out to Robert White for creating that song for us. Man, the things that AI can do for us here lately, and that has given us a fantastic intro to bring you round 2 here at Long Beach in the USRA League. So congratulations. Happy to have everyone here with us on the round 2 at Long Beach. This is sure to be a slick track, a city track, a hard-turning track, and a lot of fun as we bring you the second round here of the very first season at USRA. I am your host and your broadcaster, John Ross. Certainly glad to have everybody out there already chatting it up. I see some YouTube chats going on. We need to get some Twitch chats going on, but certainly glad to have you here as we got a lot to talk about. Again, you know, if we're going to catch you up a little bit on last week, had some fantastic winners in both of those series. We do in USRA have 2 series, and that is going to be your Pro and your AM series. So we're going to take a quick look here at Long Beach. Then we're going to get to the points. Then we're going to talk about what we are doing in qualifying tonight. But here you've got it, just a little shy of 2 miles in track length. It's going to be a hot one. Don't let that 83-degree temperature fool you. This track is going to be slick. It is going to be hot, and it is going to be tight on the exit of these turns. So sure to see a lot of fireworks tonight. I hope you are buckled up. Glad to see everyone out there. All right, so let's see if we can get, we're going to hide this thing, and we're going to take a look at some points. As you can see up here on your screen right now. Now, again, you have on the left side, you've got your Pro class, and then on the right side, you have your AM class here on American Racing Network. And these gentlemen are going to be driving GT3 cars. They're going to all be in a big pack, but you're going to see a P beside their name on the tower if they are pro, and then you're going to see if they are AM drivers. But right now, as we can stand, your winner from last week, Ernie Francis Jr., is going to take the lead. A great run by Jeff Perchowski. He's going to be second place in the points with Michael Hickman there in third. And you can see those four through about a three-way tie there for ninth. On the AM side, you've got Aikman, Pollard, Tyler Crawford, and Mark Samanchik are going to round out your top three there in the AM class. But you can see we've got quite a few drivers that are tangled up in a fantastic points battle early on in this season. So, again, let's hide these points, because now we're going to show your state, show you how many moments we have. It looks like we got about 90 seconds before our race. So we're going to pop up this schedule real quick, give you a look at where we're at. Again, the 22nd, tonight we are there at Long Beach. Next week, we're going to be here through the 29th there at the Road Atlanta Speedway. Then we go to Road America, Indy, Driver's Choice. You can see the Grand Prix, Watkins Glen, Barber. As we go on through, I will be carrying this on the American Racing Network as long as I can. I believe the only time we're going to have a bit of an issue is going to be July the 24th for the very last race. So certainly appreciate everybody being here. I hope you are as excited as I am on what we are going to do here at Long Beach. I ran a couple of laps on this track, and I've got to tell you, it's going to come down to quality braking, hitting your braking points, hitting your throttle up points, and not jumping on that traction control. So I've seen a lot of drivers hit the traction control. That's slowing them down on the exit of some of these turns. It's bogging the car down until they can get that thing back straight. On the exit of all of these, when you're inside of these city tracks like Long Beach, like Chicago, you've got to make sure that you're exiting these turns really well. So look for that throughout the course of tonight. And if I'm a betting man, I'm going to say you're going to see some of the same drivers up front. I believe I saw Ernie turning some fantastic lap times. I also saw Jeff in practice turning great times. But on the AM side, my pick tonight, Mark Samanchik. I seen him turning some fantastic laps in practice. Mark Samanchik, one of those drivers that we had last year in the All-American Racing Series, one of those drivers that I think you can look out for tonight. All right, so we're going to drop down this intro music, and we are going to see if we can bring you some qualifying. It does look like we can show you some qualifying results here. And we are going to go all the way back to the front side of this thing, if we possibly can. And it does not look like we want to change here, folks. All right, so we are going to go through. Ernie Francis Jr. is going to take your pole here. He is going to be your pole sitter. We are actually going to hide this since it does not want to pop up our leaders. And I hope we can hide that. There it goes. Now it's going to be hidden. And we're just going to pop this thing right up here on the left-hand side of your screen. So Ernie Francis Jr., your pro driver, he is going to be starting on P1. Miles with a fantastic drive. That gentleman is going to be in your second spot. Wes is going to be third. Jeff Perchowski is going to be a fourth. Now, he does not have a P, but he is a pro driver. Patrick is joining us tonight for the first time. He's going to be in fifth. Ben Lawrence in sixth. Mark Samanchik is going to be in seventh. So keep an eye out for that gentleman. That is one of my picks tonight, especially for that AM class to be your winner. Christian Proctor is going to be eighth. Zach Saunders in ninth. Wade Moskowitz there in 10th. Tyler Crawford in 11th, Trevor O'Neill in 12th. Aikman is going to be in 13th. Now, Aikman was your winner last week at VIR, so keep an eye out for him. Tyler is going to be in 14th. Michael Hickman in 15th. Rory in 16th. Manuel Koschneider in 17th. Angel is going to be in 18th. Dakota Howard 19th. And we're going to have Garrison rolling out in 20th. And Robert White, the gentleman that brought you that intro music, is going to be rolling out in 21st. As always, you're going to see the top left-hand corner is going to be your timing tower that is going to show these drivers as they go around the track. You are going to be able to see what their last lap was. If they go purple, that is going to be the fastest lap there on the track. And then we are also going to have that battle box for you down here in the bottom right-hand corner so that you can take a look at that. All right, we're gonna check in with our chat real quick. Jonathan Marsh says, "Let's go. Good luck, everyone." Jonathan, appreciate you tuning in. Teddy, Ben for the win. We're going to see. I'm assuming that is going to be Ben Lawrence. Ben has moved up from the AM class already in week 1 and jumped his way up here. As we're going to have a short parade lap and get ready to go green. Robert is in the chat. Schedule is still up. All right, I appreciate that. Thank you very much. And that is now disappeared for you. I appreciate that. Brian Peters saying, "Let's go, Tyler Crawford," in the chat. We've got Barry there in Twitch saying, "Go, Ben." So a lot of drivers here, or a lot of chatters rooting on Ben Lawrence as we get ourselves ready to go green. Now, the pace car is off. As you can see now, green flag in the air, and they are going to fan out in a big way here. Ernie is going to be on your left-hand side. He's going to have the preferred line going into turn 1. Now, this is going to be a heavy braking zone. Let's see if everyone can make it through. Does look like your first few drivers able to do that. I do not see anyone out early, so I do believe they were able to make it through there nice and smooth. Ernie is now going to take about a 2-car length lead over here to this hard right-hander. Oh, no, and it does look like we are going to have a spin a little bit earlier. Let's go back and take a look at Tyler. Tyler, they're here in turn 1. Beautiful car there, and it looks like he is going to get a little tight in this. Oh, that's just a stop and go. That is fine, but Wes Amick, what has happened to Wes? Wes is going to hit this curb here, I believe, and over-rotate just a little bit here to the right-hand side and spin that car out. Another Mustang right behind him, just barely missing that. As now we're going to go back up here and take a look at Ernie as Miles right on his back bumper, not letting him go anywhere. Wade Moskowitz showing a crash. Let's go back and take a look. Mark Szymanczyk just right behind him. It did show Mark is a wreck too, so this could be through this hairpin. Yeah, and there it is, just a big stack up in that hairpin. That does happen, folks, here on the first turn. It does look like all of these drivers are going to be okay. If Mark has some damage, it's going to be on the back end of that car. I think he is going to be all right. We're going to go right back up here into this battle. This is going to be your tightest battle. About half a second is going to separate Ernie Francis Jr. and Miles Gilsinger. Miles, one of your leaders, owners here of USRA, is going to be battling for this front spot, not allowing Ernie to get away. Now, these fellas do have quite a gap here to your third place driver. That's Patrick Rich. Patrick, a newcomer here in the second race of USRA, so certainly glad to have him. And we're going to kind of fold right back here to Zach. Zach Saunders is battling Ben Lawrence, and this is going to be for position, as both of these drivers are pro drivers. Again, on the left-hand side, if you see a P in front of their name, that is a pro driver. If you see an A, that is a AM driver. We're going to continue to look at that as we go throughout this night. That Beamer able to really get through that hairpin well, power off, but that Mustang is going to have a lot of grunt coming down this front stretch. Hard under braking. Really hard turn here to the left. As you can see those tire barriers. That is always an opportunity for some disaster. So you can see these drivers still nose to tail. And now they have caught up to Christian Proctor. Christian right now running in the 5th spot on the grid. Now Ben all over Christian. He's going to get a little loose on the exit there. That is going to allow your driver here in the 117 to take a quick look. He's going to have a fantastic run down the straightaway. Now we're going to get a block here on the left-hand side. Here comes Zach. He's going to be on the outside. Ben throwing that block now. It looks like it's going to get super tight. So that's going to have the better inside preferred line. But Ben's able to hang on to it here in the hairpin. Crossover. Oh, what a fantastic move by Zach Saunders. Hitting that crossover on Ben there through the hairpin. put this gentleman up to 6th here on the field. And as far as pro drivers are concerned, he is going to be your 5th driver. Christian Proctor is going to be your first driver in the AM Series, sitting there in 5th position. Woo, just a lot of action all the way throughout the track. We are going to keep an eye on this as we go back up here to the chat. So Brian Peters saying, let's go Tyler Crawford. Dominguez saying, let's go Ernie. Ernie is out now. As you can see on the top left-hand side of your timing tower, you can see that 0.8 of a second he is going to have on Miles, which is going to be another pro driver. So Ernie turned in some fantastic lap times. Now, Miles did go purple, as we talked about a little bit earlier. You can see that purple there, 1:19.361. Miles turning the fastest lap so far of the race. And Barry saying, let's go, Ben, get it back. Yeah, Barry, I believe Ben is going to have that long run speed. Never count this gentleman out. He's good, solid, and quick. That Mustang just has a ton of power down these straightaways. But I do believe that these tires get a little bit of wear. You're going to see Ben start to come back. All right, as we talked about a little bit earlier, Miles hitting that purple lap. Not to be outdone now, Ernie Francis Jr. popping his purple lap at a 19.358. Miles last lap turning a 19.569. You've got Patrick there at a 19.9, along with Jeff Perchowski at a 19.9 last lap as well, as this battle is now going to start to heat up for your 3rd position. Patrick Rich, I believe, is going to be a pro driver. If he is not a pro driver, he will be by the end of this race. Now this battle's starting to get hot. As you can see, that Mustang getting a little loose on the exit of that turn. Now here comes the hairpin. This Corvette getting a ton of turn right through there, and through that hairpin, he's going to be able to get up on those gears pretty quickly. We're going to hop on board with Jeff Perchowski. As again, really heavy braking zone there, getting into turn 1. You want to try to take that turn as straight as you possibly can. We do have some action going on. Let's go back here and take a look at Manuel Kohlschneider, and it does show him as wrecked. Oh, it is just going to get a little tight with that Mustang. You see a lot of damage there on the left side of this car. And he's just going to slow that puppy down, make sure that thing gets turned through that hairpin. Let's go back and take a look at Robert White. See what happened to him. I'm going to assume he is going to stop here in the hairpin, have a very, very similar. Oh no, he's going to shoot that wide there in the hairpin. Didn't look like he ever let off of the throttle. And he's going to have to stop that car and do a K-turn. All right, let's go back up here live as we're going to take a look at this battle for your 3rd position on the grid. And this is, again, going to be Jeff Perchowski battling Patrick Rich for the 3rd spot. Jeff's just a little quicker, a couple of tenths faster than what Rich was. That last lap is going to pull him within about a half a second. Again, coming down here to this hard left-hander. These drivers are going to have to come down and take a pit stop at least once throughout this race. Man, it does look like we have a couple of crashes. Robert White now showing as another crash there. That is going to be through the hairpin again, so we're just going to keep it right here. Look at some of these other battles that are going on. Ben, as we talked about, now starting to get onto the back end of Christian Proctor with a little bit of a blinking issue there. Christian Proctor is an AM driver. Ben, now one of your pro drivers. starting to gain some ground. This BMW, tires heating up. Ben starting to get into a really nice rhythm, putting a lot of pressure on Christian, this Scooby-Doo machine. A lot of those drivers taking that hairpin really wide, getting out to the outside retaining wall on the exit of that turn. If they can time that right, the sooner you can get back on the throttle, the better off you're going to be coming down this long straightaway. It's going to be key to fast lap times. So you can see now they're going to start to swerve out to the right-hand side. Now remember, keep in mind that is pit exit there on that right-hand side. So they have to make sure that they do not cross that line. If they do, that is going to be about a 1.5 second slowdown. So that's why you see all of those drivers missing that outside line and taking that turn just a little bit short. Now it shows we're going to have Robert White as crash again. Let's go back and take a look at Robert. Brian Peters in the chat saying, Tyler. It does look like Robert is starting to struggle with that turn. Let's see if we can go back, take a look and focus here on Tyler. Appreciate Brian out there in chat shouting out Tyler. We certainly love to. Oh, now we show Ernie Francis Jr. as a crash. Let's go back and take a look, see what happened. Is this going to be in the hairpin? Yeah, it does look like our SDK is going to read an almost stop as Miles is going to blink just a little bit behind Ernie. It shows a stop there in the hairpin as a crash. So Ernie Francis is in good shape. We're going to go back and take a look at Tyler. Tyler with some damage to the front end of that car. And he is in a heated battle here with Michael Hickman. Michael, one of your stronger drivers there last week at VIR, all over the rear end of this Mustang. Let's go on board with Tyler, take a quick look. Hard under braking. This left-hander is so tricky. Right there, it's hard to get back on the throttle, so you want to be about quarter to half throttle until you can feel traction, get into those tires. And now you can see Tyler starting to struggle on that right-hander. If you overdrive the entry to that, it's going to give you a little bit of a push, and that push is what Tyler was fighting right there. So really, Tyler, take a breath. Nail these turns, make sure that this Mustang is going to have a ton of grip in those front tires, and then use that forward power to get off of these turns. I think Tyler's going to be just fine. Does look like Michael a little bit slower than Tyler that lap. He is going to be in the draft. It's going to give him a lot of momentum going in here to turn one. I don't think he's got enough room to get a hold of him, and he doesn't. Yeah, Michael Hickman really hounding Tyler now. I believe he is wanting Tyler to make some form of mistake. It's going to allow Hickman to get by. And man, as a driver, you're really feeling that now. Looks like Hickman, oh, we've got a wreck there in the back. And I believe that's Aikman. We'll go back and take a look. No, that is Tyler Ebert getting himself sideways on the exit there. He's going to spin out. You saw that in real time, folks. Right behind this battle. We're not going to stick away from this, as he's just going to have to back up and get himself K-turned back out on the track. But Ebert spinning out on the exit of that turn. Oh, Tyler shooting that just a little wide. That's going to open the door here for Hickman. Tyler again super wide on the exit of that turn. He's not going to be able to get on the throttle soon enough. That is going to give Hickman a nice run here on the right-hand side. Now, Tyler's going to have the momentum on the left. It does not look like he's going to be able to get that done, so put this driver up one more position. All right, let's go back. Take a look at Ben. Ben still battling with Christian Proctor. on track here. This is 5th and 6th position on track. Does look like Christian is going to be your first driver in the AM series in 5th on the track. Ben, one of your Pro Series driver, battling right now, is now right up in front of them. You can see these two drivers, Jeff Perchowski and Patrick Rich, are battling for 3rd position. I believe Patrick fighting off Jeff. Jeff, one of your quicker drivers there at VIR, now trying to find his way around Patrick Rich. Patrick making that Mustang as wide as he possibly can, coming down this front stretch. We do show Dakota Howard has crashed. Let's go back and take a look. Make sure this is not in the hairpin. This might be something that we're going to battle with all night long, as it shows that he has crashed on my relative, but he did not. Right back up front, Nathan Brzezowski in the chat coming in saying, W stream, Nathan, hope you had a good race tonight. My adrenaline racing teammate. Certainly appreciate you tuning in with us tonight. So now Jeff is going to take the left-hand side. He's going to have a good run here. He's not going to have the right-hander. He's going to have to back off just a little bit, see if this Mustang takes it wide. He's going to do that. Jeff, again, with a fantastic run down this straightaway. The preferred line is going to be a sharp right-hander here. Patrick Rich doing everything he can do to keep Jeff behind him. That is going to allow Christian Proctor and Ben Lawrence to start to catch up here to the back end of both of these drivers. Ernie Francis still out front now with a 4.5-second lead over Miles Gilsinger. Miles with a fantastic drive so far tonight, sitting there in 2nd position. The battle is right here for 3rd on the track. Again, Jeff trying to find a way around Patrick. Patrick making that Mustang as wide as he can now here through this sharp little chicane. Patrick starting to stretch that out just a little bit, about a half a car length. Now Jeff drawing back in. Little contact there. This is a 4-driver battle. All right, we are going to cool on this one for just a second because we got a battle right here. As now you can look at Angel Rodriguez. Oh, we've got a driver without a wing, and you can see the stumble that that driver has now with no wing. I have heard, if you have, oh, and there he goes. My goodness, Zach, without a wing, not able to control that Mustang, is going to loop it there on that sharp right-hander. I have heard if you touch the wall with these Mustangs, that wing just decides to fall off. That is what happened to Zach. I do believe he's going to have to come in and take a pit. Now right back up here for this battle for 3rd. Jeff really quick through the fountain. It does look like Patrick is able to get that Mustang geared up through these longer, what I would consider to be longer turns. Ben Lawrence making a little contact on the exit of that turn. It's going to fall behind these 3 drivers just a little. Yeah, Jonathan. Yeah, I will tell you, like I said, I've heard that. Oh, now it looks like the 45 is going to a little bit overextended through that turn. He's going to get a loose and hit that traction control. It's going to allow Jeff to be right on the outside. Ben, it looks like Rich has a fantastic defensive line throughout this racetrack. Jeff has not been able to find a way around him. He is going to go a little wide, but Jeff cannot capitalize on that. This Rich is just finding a way to stay in front. Now, Jeff is going to have a good run. He's going to be right in the draft of this driver. Looks like Rich is going to protect that inside. Now, right here through this fountain, Jeff and that Corvette handling much better than that Mustang is right now. Let's see if we can go on board with Jeff Perchowski. So you can see him here, that difficulty is finding just a square inch that you can get around these drivers. Rich understanding what it takes to put a block on a driver. Guard that inside line. That is exactly what Rich is doing, sticking himself there to the right-hand side. Jeff really using those tough blocks, getting over the top of them, helping that Corvette turn. Oh, and it does look like Rich made a little bit of contact there with the inside retaining wall. Now Jeff smartly is going to come down, and folks, essentially what Jeff's trying to do here is he's going to try to jump Rich and not have to fight him for that position. Because if he could do that and get himself out in front of Rich, then he can start turning some lap times and walk away from him. So, very intelligent decision. We're going to go right back up here to Ernie Francis Jr. We have not talked about him a whole lot tonight. And when you're out front, and you're out front in a big way, about 5.5 seconds, you do not get a whole lot of screen time, but we want to put this on this gentleman. We talked to him last week at VIR. It looks like he is in well command of this one right now. Now, we've got a long way to go. We are not even halfway done with this race to date, but Ernie is putting it on these folks. Finding a great path around this track. Just on board with your driver that is first overall on the field. Again, Patrick Rich is going to be a pro driver. Your fourth position, Christian Proctor, is going to be your first place in the AM division. So fantastic run by that driver so far. As you can see now, looks like Ebert's going to come out right in front of Ernie. Going to slow Ernie down just a little bit. He is going to do the right thing and get out of the way. Great job by that driver. Ernie with a little contact there to the outside wall. Alex, good to have you there in chat saying, let's go, boys. Yeah, it is a good race so far. Glad to see you back. Barry says up to fifth. Yeah, Ben is up to fifth now. Now, keep in mind, Barry, Jeff Perchowski went into pit to short pit a little bit. I do believe overall when everyone pits, you're going to see Ben sitting back there in about sixth position. Hey, John, what's up? Yeah, out here calling another race at Long Beach for the USRA series. Really, and it does look like, if you can see, a ton of damage there on Cole Schneider. Not sure what happened to that front clip, but he is gone. We do show a crash by Jeff Perchowski. Let's take a look and see if this is not a stop here on this hairpin. It does look like that's going to be what it is, showing a crash. Again, that is no crash, just showing up on the relative when they have to stop for that hairpin. All right, again, let's reset this thing. Ernie Francis Jr. is your leader. Miles in second position. Neither one of those drivers have a pit, nor has Patrick Rich there in third. Christian Proctor, Ben Lawrence, Wade Moskowitz, Trevor O'Neill, Michael Hickman, Mark Szymanczyk, and Tyler Crawford rounding out your top 10 right now. We do have another battle on the track as Christian Proctor, your number one driver here in the AMP series, starting to put pressure on Patrick Rich. We saw Jeff Perchowski on Patrick earlier trying to get that pass done, not able to do so, so he ducked down into the pits to try to jump him overall. And now Christian Proctor is going to start taking his shot here at Rich. Christian with an amazing run so far tonight, showing a ton of speed here at Long Beach. Another battle waging on here. Tyler Crawford in a battle with your points leader, Aikman Pollard. Aikman, you can see a little damage to that left front on that car. You can also see some damage on Tyler's car, on that front clip and the hood. You can see that splitter even pulled up just a little bit. You know that's got to be affecting him. Probably trying to wait this out so he can get himself in the pits, but he has fallen back to Aikman, starting to put some pressure on the back end, and these two Mustangs are going to fight it out here, both AM drivers. Oh, and you're going to have a spin by Tyler Crawford. He's going to brake just a little late, get loose. Not a whole lot of damage, but that is going to set him back a little bit as Aikman Pollard now is going to come up to the 9th position, put Tyler Crawford back into 10th. So, Brian, not a great sequence of events there for Tyler, but we do have a pit stop coming. He's not a ton back. It looks like he lost about 4 seconds with that wreck. Christian still on the back end of Rich. Rich just has shown to be one of the better defensive drivers here tonight. Under fire by Jeff Prochowski earlier on in this race. Now under fire by Christian Proctor. Right in front of them is Manuel Kohlschneider without a front clip. So this is going to impede these two drivers. The decision's going to be, where am I going to catch them? How am I going to pass them? As now Christian just way loose, but man, giving everything he's got. And now you can see Rich again, just taking that right side, you know, really protecting this inside line, going through these turns. Now Christian looking to his right, looking to his left here, going through this chicane. Man, I will tell you, Rich is one tough customer. This is the first time that we have seen him run, but man, he is making this Mustang as wide as this track is here at Long Beach through each one of these turns. Christian trying to find a way around him in this Scooby-Doo machine. As you can see, Tyler Crawford coming out of the pits now with a brand new Liquid Death Mustang. That is the joy and the beauty of having a fast repair. Yeah, Brian, he is regrouping right now. As you saw, he has went into the pits and took that fast repair, coming back out on track. Now, Manuel Kohlschneider there on the left-hand side. He is going to get out of the way of these two drivers. We're going to go right back here and take a look at Wade Moskowitz and Michael Hickman. Both of these drivers trying to take over 5th position for Michael Hickman. Wade Moskowitz is in 5th. Tristan in the chat rooting on Tyler. So quite a few Tyler Crawford fans in chat tonight. We appreciate everyone coming out. Oh, Wade Moskowitz is going to get into the outside wall. That is going to open this up for Michael Hickman. Michael trying to figure out where he's going to try to make this pass. He's going to try to undercut on this hairpin. Not able to do that. Wade Moskowitz with a fantastic exit there. You can see about a middle line exit on that hairpin. Really put Hickman at a disadvantage. Hickman's going to be in this draft. He's going to look to the inside, really just showing where he wants to go to see if Wade is going to bobble a little bit. Wade, one of the tougher customers here at USRA, is not going to make a whole lot of mistakes. Man, Michael just on the back end of Wade Moskowitz trying to find his way around him. This is your tightest battle out here on the track right now. Yeah, Tyler back there is 16th right now, but we still have to cycle through these pit stops as now there's a little bit of rubbing going on. Michael Hickman able to get to the inside line. I believe that Wade gave him that inside line, put this driver now up to 5th on the track. Oh, we're gonna have a caution come out, and this is going to be a track-wide caution. Let's go back and see if we can find out. Is it Patrick Rich? Patrick. Oh, and he's going to get pretty bad. Now, where did Patrick let's see. Patrick and Christian battling pretty tough earlier. Let's see if we can find the crash here. No front end. Christian flashing those lights. Patrick's going to overshoot that turn. What a huge impact by Patrick Rich. That is probably what's going to bring out this track-wide caution. Let's go back and take a look again, but we're going to hop on board. Oh, my goodness. This driver was such a great drive throughout tonight, making that car as wide as he possibly can. We're just going to back this up old school way and see if we can find out what happened to him. Comes out of this turn wide open, doing a good job. Yeah, just going to miss the braking zone. Just never, and just big impact there. Man, that is going to put Ernie Francis back in, and everybody's going to bunch themselves back up. Now, are you going to come in? Are you going to get tires? Let's see what's going to happen as we reset this field. Ernie Francis Jr., your leader. Miles Gilsinger, Christian Proctor, Michael Hickman, Wade Moskowitz, Mark Szymanczyk, Aikman Pollard, Rory Garrison, Angel Rodriguez, Jeff, Patrick Rich. Jeff took that earlier pit stop, and that put him back to 11th position now. So he's going to have a ways to go unless he decides to stay out here. Now, Ernie Francis, Miles Gilsinger, Christian Proctor, Michael Hickman, Mark Szymanczyk. I don't believe any of your top 5 drivers have come into the pits, so you're going to see them come in now. Who is going to stay out, and are we going to shake this thing up here at Long Beach? How is Ernie this good? Well, I will tell you, Ernie did a fantastic drive there at VIR. I do believe he had some extremely stiff competition, but Ernie, a racer in real life too, you know, has really taken to this Porsche, taken this GT3 here on iRacing, you know, and he has been able to find his way around. Now, you've got some fast drivers behind him. You know, a couple little mistakes here or there. To beat Ernie, you're going to have to be perfect. But we've got some drivers that can do that. Miles Gilsinger back here, showing a lot of speed early on in this race. Christian Proctor, one of your more shining examples here, doing a fantastic job there in the AM division, in 3rd place on the field, has shown a ton of speed. Now you can see all of these drivers that have not pit yet. And that's Ernie Francis Jr., Miles Gilsinger coming down. Is Christian Proctor going to come down? He is going to come down. What about Michael Hickman? He should come down as well. Yes, he is. Lots of drivers in. Right now, Ernie, Miles, Christian, Michael Hickman, and Mark Szymanczyk, just like we talked about, your top 5 drivers coming down pit road. Man, it looks like everybody else is going to come in too. Wade Moskowitz is coming in. Jeff Rachowski's going to come in. Jeff might be staying out. He is going to stay out. Very intelligent job by Jeff here, because Jeff went into the pits a little bit earlier. So this is going to put him up front. Yeah, so Tristan Ernie just has done an amazing job so far in these first 2 races. of the USRA series. So he has done an amazing job. Certainly deserves all the accolades that he has gotten so far. But we've got a lot of racing to do, not only tonight, but we're going to go all the way through July the 24th every single week. We're going to have some action here. We talked about the schedule a little bit earlier, so lots of opportunities for these other drivers to come out here and claim some victories. I hope you all are having as much fun as I am calling these races and broadcasting these races back here on the American Racing Network. We certainly appreciate everyone joining in. I am John Ross, your broadcaster. I'm going to be with you all the way through. I do not believe I'm going to be able to cover that very last race for you, but this thing kind of come together in a hurry with Miles and with Trevor. They've done an amazing job putting it on, along with a few other admins, Rory and Wade, and all of those guys. Certainly appreciate them bringing me on so that I can call these races for you. I certainly appreciate calling road. I'm more of an oval guy, but I do enjoy calling these road races. Very, very happy to have everyone here. Please, if you can follow the American Racing Network online through YouTube, we would certainly appreciate that, as we're going to go oval racing in a couple of these weeks as well. I believe starting next week, we've got a couple of other leagues we're going to throw out there and start broadcasting as well. Hey, Barry saying great commentary. Barry, I certainly appreciate that. Thank you very much. It always makes me feel good when we have people out there communicating with us, watching the races as well. You know, as being active in chat, it makes my job much, much easier. And we certainly appreciate that. You know, we do this thing because we love it. We love Trevor and Miles and all those guys and what they're trying to do here at USRA. So, you know, I certainly appreciate anything that you can give us here on the broadcast. Thank you very much. Now, you can see that light is out there on that Porsche pace car. We are going to go back green. This is going to be something else. Now, Jeff Berchowski is going to be number one on your field. But as you can see, there's going to be quite a few drivers that are going to have to get around this pace car, try to get that lap back. A few drivers on the tail end, including Ben Lawrence, on the tail end of that lead lap. So this is going to be your driver that we're highlighting here that is number one on the field. Ernie Francis Jr. is going to come out in second. Miles is going to be in third. Christian Proctor in fourth. Michael Hickman is going to be in fifth. Mark Szymanczyk in sixth. As you can see there on the timing tower on the left-hand side. Now, all of those drivers getting past the pace car so that they can catch back up to the back end of this field. They're going to be on the tail end of the lead lap. Single file, here we go. Jeff Berchowski, shown a lot of speed, was behind Rich for quite some time earlier on in these runs, especially that first run. We're not really sure what the pace of this Corvette is going to be quite yet, but we are going to find out as Ernie Francis Jr. is going to be all over the rear end of this Vette. And what you're looking for, really, if you're Jeff, is to have a fantastic start here. You know, as this pace car peels off, timing this thing just right. You want to be able to have 3 to 4 car lengths before you get into turn one, because as you know, that is a huge stack up point. This is going to be a big stack up here, as a lot of these drivers, you can see really Miles way, way back as the third place driver. Now that pace car is going to peel off. This is going to leave it to Jeff Berchowski. Miles is going to try to time this thing. He's going to get right in behind him. Everybody looks like it's nice and smooth. Jeff slow to get himself over here to the green flag. And it does look like, are we going to get ourselves, here we go, out here on the front stretch. That pace car is off. Not certain where we're at here on the green flag. It still shows yellow on the top left-hand corner of your timing tower. So that pace car is now going to come back out. I believe folks out there watching, what has happened is we're going to try to get these drivers that passed that pace car caught back up to the back end of this field. So we're going to go green this next time by. We're going to give them one more lap, catch the back end of this field, get themselves back up here and back in contention. Again, let's set this thing back up here. Jeff Prochowski is a pro driver. You do not see the P in front of his name, but he is a pro driver. Ernie Francis Jr., Miles Gilsinger, those are going to be your top 3 drivers on the field and in that pro category. Christian Proctor is going to be your first AM driver. Then you got Michael Hickman and then Mark Semanchik. Mark, my pick for your AM winner tonight is going to be second in the AM division there. You've got Rory Aikman-Pollard, last week's AM winner, going to be an 8th. Wade Moskowitz is going to be a 9th, and then Angel Rodriguez rounding out the top 10. All right, here we go, folks. We have racked them back up. We've stacked them back up. We are 40 minutes here in a 65-minute race. Long Beach round 2 here. As you can see them kind of fanning out just a little bit in the back. Round 2 at Long Beach. This thing is slick. It is hot. This track has proved to be very, very difficult for a few of these drivers, as I do believe we're going to go to Road America next week. That's going to spread these drivers out just a little bit more, pull a lot more draft into play. As you can see, Jeff all over that pace car. Here we go. As you can hear these drivers really active, getting themselves ready here for the green. Again, we're going to have a quick sprint to the end. I believe all of these drivers are going to be able to make it. Now, the green flag is out. Jeff Prochowski not getting a great jump. Ernie Francis Jr. all over him. Jeff is going to protect that left-hand side. Ernie is going to get the run down. He's going to try to get this thing done under brake, and Jeff staying onto his outside, not able to make that happen. They're going to go through right here. Oh, he's going to let up. Jeff, just a little bit of a burp on that throttle, is going to let Ernie get through. Now, Jeff a little loose on exit. That's going to put Miles to the back bumper of him. Now, again, Miles a little loose now in that Corvette. They're going to be side by side here to this left-hander. Miles getting that pass done, put Miles back into second position. Ernie Francis just starting to sneak away. Now Christian Proctor back into this battle. Michael Hickman down underneath the Christian Proctor. Oh my goodness, what a fight we have on our hands with this restack. Everything's starting to settle down just a little bit. Christian Proctor finding a ton of speed against these pro drivers. Now starting to look onto the back end here of Jeff Prochowski. He's going to give him a little bump. Ernie Francis just moving away from these drivers. Now up about 0.7 of a second. Jeff finding his way back into the third position. As we go through the fountain, Jeff starting to settle himself back down now. Christian Proctor finding his way up to fourth. Oh, Miles Gilsinger with a big crash. Let's go back and take a look. Overcooking it. Oh, and that's going to give some damage there to Jeff Prochowski. And now we're going to come right back up here. I do believe Jeff's going to have some damage onto that Corvette. Miles Gilsinger having such a fantastic run. Oh, Jeff has now lit up the brakes. He's going to go off track. Now the lights are starting to flash as Michael Hickman saying, listen, I'm a pro driver. Let me buy. Let me see if I've got anything for Ernie. Looks like Jeff with that damage by getting in that accident with Miles. going wide on the track, and man, this has put Christian Proctor in a fantastic position. But don't look now, Mark Szymanczyk in that Porsche just a few seconds behind these drivers. It looks like about 1 second behind these two drivers, so he is right there. If Christian continues to touch a wall on the exit, that is going to be a fight. Michael Hickman now all over the back end of Christian Proctor. Christian's got to start thinking, do I fight this pro driver? Do I let him go so that Mark and I can really see if we can fight this thing out toward the end now, 45 minutes into an hour and 5-minute race. All right, let's go right back here and take a look at Rory and last week's winner of the AM division, Aikman Pollard. Aikman starting to put some pressure on, getting that Mustang rolling all over the back end of Rory. Trying to find his way through this field. This driver now, as we stand, Christian Proctor, your number one driver there in the AM division. Mark Szymanczyk is in second, so Aikman is going to be your third place driver in the AM. So nothing wrong with that, but man, he is looking for more. Rory with a fantastic run right now in sixth position. Wade Moskowitz, man, we like to call him Old Faithful, just always moving his way forward, and he has done that now, fifth on the field. Going purple that last lap was Ernie Francis Jr. at a 19.31. But this battle for your second spot on the field has not waned at all. Michael Hickman still all over the back end of Christian Proctor. Christian wanting to have that buffer between him and Mark Szymanczyk right behind him. Man, we have battles all over the track. Trevor O'Neill looks like he is looking underneath of Angel, not able to make that pass yet. Ben Lawrence fighting his way back through this field super fast early on. He's going to get around Garrison. He is going to make that pass, so put Ben Lawrence up to 10th on the field right now. Now, again, this is without your pro and your AM divisions divided out. Angel Rodriguez, a fantastic job so far. He is in 8th spot right now, holding off Trevor O'Neill and Ben Lawrence. Now, Ben, really good as this BMW starts to get a lot more traction. Once the tires heat up on this Beamer, it is really good through what I would consider to be the infield. These tight twists and turns showing a ton of speed as now Trevor O'Neill starting to breathe down the back of Angel Rodriguez. Ben, I believe, is just settling in line, waiting on Trevor to make a move. This driver, Ben Lawrence, he was 16th at one point, now back up to 10th as he continues to battle. Four-way battle here. It looks like, especially on that hairpin, if you saw Garrison trying to take that a little bit shorter, that is not a bad idea. Just really rotating those tires too much, getting on the throttle a little too heavy, creating that spin out. And this is going to make it super tight for these three drivers and give a little bit of breathing room to Ben out back. Ben getting up on that curb a little quicker than most of these drivers. Back through, he's really good. Looks like he's really good through the fountain. But man, that Mustang with so much power down these straightaways and on the exit of these turns is now looks like Trevor looking to the inside of Angel. He is going to make that pass. And now Ben needing to get Angel in his rearview mirror as soon as he possibly can. If not, he is going to lose connection to this pro driver. And now it looks like Ben is going to have a really good run on the exit of this turn. He's going to look to the right, flash his lights just a little bit, tell Angel he is an AM driver. Stay to the inside, going to be super tight. He's going to get this pass done, put Ben up to 9th on the field now, as he's going to start trying to track down Trevor O'Neill for that 8th position. Like I say, go number 11, Trevor O'Neill. I tell you, I talked to Trevor a lot. Fantastic racer. Really a student of iRacing, a student of racing. Always the first person to get into a chat and say, man, why are you doing this and how are you doing this? And that's only going to make that driver faster throughout the seasons, throughout every race that he does. And sometimes this is trial by fire, and my goodness, is he getting some action tonight. We're going back up here to this fight with Rory. Roy still being hounded by Aikman. Again, Aikman, your last week's winner in the AM division, all over Rory. Roy, I talked to this guy too, man. He is as cool as they come. You talk to him, and he is very analytical, very thought out. This driver's not going to make a lot of mistakes. You're just going to have to outpace him. Woo, and it does look like Aikman getting hot into that hairpin, having to over brake to not get all over the back end of Rory. Going to lose a little bit of time. Again, we're going to go right back here up front. Christian having a heck of a drive. This gentleman, the Scooby-Doo machine, second for the AM division. But I will tell you, folks, he might be second, but this gentleman here, 6.7 seconds up. Ernie Francis Jr. doing it once again, finds himself out front, just nailing these lap times. 52 minutes into an hour and a 5-minute race. Doing what he's got to do to get this thing done. Let's see if we can go on board with your leader. See how he's getting this thing done. We're just going to be quiet right here, folks. We're going to take one lap around with your leader here in Ernie Francis Jr. All right, there you've got it. One lap around with Ernie Francis Jr. You know, as you can tell, folks, it looks like he's just got this thing dialed in. It is on cruise control. And sometimes when you're out front and you're leading and those people have to chase you, they're going to overdrive that car. So really what Ernie needs to do here at about a 7.3 second lead, to be 7.5 seconds here very soon, is just nail his braking positions, his throttle positions, and do not take any risks. Just stay within the margin of error, and you can bring this thing home here with a little more than 10 minutes to go. So fantastic job from that driver. Now, let's see if we can go catch some battles on the track. Now you can see Garrison starting to hound Angel Rodriguez for that 10th position. Angel, one of those drivers that just consistently nails these top 10 finishes, and he finds himself in that similar position tonight, just hitting these lap times. I do want to go right up in front of him, as now you can see Rory falling behind, as now it looks like Ben Lawrence able to get around and put him up to 10th or 8th. I'm sorry, Trevor O'Neill up to 7th position. So these two drivers finding their way through this traffic so far. Aikman Pollard is not too far in front of those drivers. Now, wasn't that long ago, but where Aikman was battling with Rory. Both of these drivers finding a lot of speed here later on in this race. So Trevor on the march, Ben Lawrence right behind him on the march as well. Ben now a pro driver on the march forward, trying to track down Aikman Pollard. Let's go back up front. Christian Proctor again, still in front of your third place driver of Michael Hickman. Mark Semanchik has not let these drivers go. You can see him in the background there. Still turning laps, still battling as well as he can. Christian Proctor turning some amazing laps. Last lap at a 20.29. Mark Semanchik at a 20.8. So getting about 6/10 there on Mark. Mark's about 3.8 seconds behind these two drivers. So Mark, just a little bit of work to do if he's going to catch this driver and battle for that AM victory tonight. Angel, Garrison, back at it. This Porsche not giving up, wanting to find a way around Angel. Angel going really wide there, over-rotating the tires. That's going to slow him down just a little bit. Looks like Rory's starting to fall back to these two drivers just a little bit as well. Rory with such a strong run earlier, maybe losing a little bit of rhythm, a little bit of concentration here. So now Garrison going to blink just a little. Zachary all over the back end of Angel Rodriguez. Again, folks, your leader, Ernie Francis Jr., out to about an 8.5-second lead as we're trying to highlight your closest battles on the track. Round 2 at Long Beach at USRA. These drivers putting on, again, just one heck of a show. Man, Zachary's really good in that Porsche on the exit. He's going to flash Angel and say, hey, let me get around. I don't think Angel's going to listen to that. These two drivers are going to be fighting for position and 10th on the field. Zachary certainly with a little bit more speed now, but he's going to have to find a way around Angel. Angel with a fantastic exit there in the hairpin. All right, folks, certainly appreciate you tuning in here. We got about 8.5 minutes to go. If you want me to highlight somebody, make sure that you shout them out there in chat. We try to stay on to your tightest battles on the track. As we're going to go right back up here as Ben Lawrence now starting to catch Trevor. This is going to be for 7th position on the field. This BMW really starting to catch fire here late. He was fast later on in that first run, starting to gain a lot of speed here on this second run. The pressure is on as now Ben is going to get into the wall on the exit of that turn. I would assume that is a late braking issue that causes a slight push. That turn is really pushy if you don't feel the right front or the front tires gripping there. That's going to set Ben back just a little bit. Now, Trevor's going to overshoot this chicane. That's going to put Ben right to the back bumper. Yet again, as this battle is going to wage on. That Mustang powering out of that hairpin. Hard braking zone. This is where the BMW is going to shine. It's going to be on the infield style here through. And you can see with just a fantastic run out of turn one. Not a whole lot of places to pass here in the fountain, but putting some pressure on Trevor is going to benefit him. As now you can see Trevor starting to push a little bit harder. Now you can see a move to the inside on the left-hand side there. Ben trying to catch him under braking. They're going to go side by side. Trevor's going to have your preferred line on the right, so he's going to fend Ben off for right now. Coming through that sharp right-hander, both of those drivers having a great exit. Ben still into the draft there of Trevor in that Mustang. Oh, he's going to shoot down to the bottom. Oh, what a move. That did not work, but Ben gave it a shot. Trevor's going to fend it off. Try to get through this hairpin well. Ben right back to the back bumper. I do believe Ben has a lot more pace right now than what Trevor is, but Trevor is putting on one heck of a defensive battle, as that is going to be 3/4 of a second faster than Ben coming out of that hairpin. Trevor a lot quicker through fountain than what he was that last time around. Ben was able to get right to the back bumper of him. Trevor much, much better through that fountain that time. That's going to extend his lead just a little bit. Now Ben's going to go a bit wide. Put about another car length for Trevor. Now it looks like Trevor really starting to get that rhythm down. About 5 to 6 car lengths now. That's a great exit of that turn. He's going to be able to power that Mustang down this straightaway. So this battle is going to cool just a little bit, as we're going to catch back up to Christian and Michael Hickman still battling this thing out for number 2 overall on the track. Mark Semanchik now about 4.6, 4.7 seconds behind these two drivers. Oh, it does look like we show Angel Rodriguez as crashed. Let's see if we can find out what happened to him. This is probably going to be a hairpin stop, as we have seen most of the night showing up as crashes, and that's going to be what it is. He's going to overshoot that just a little bit, but go right back up here to your live action. Now 1:02 in a 1:05 race, so about 3 minutes to go. Michael Hickman going to look to the right-hand side, and all he is doing there, Michael is just showing Christian, I believe I'm faster than you are. There's opportunities for me to pass, but this is so tight, I don't want to screw up our races. Now, I think what Michael has got to think about is Christian is your top AM driver, and you've got Michael Hickman there in third. He's going to be second to pro in points. He's not going to catch Ernie Francis Jr. out 11.5 seconds. Bowen Blair said, are Scooby Snacks considered performance enhancing? He has done something, Bowen Blair. I can tell you that because, my goodness, last week with a fantastic run, but this week he has really put this car on display and shown his skills around this Long Beach circuit. 2 minutes to go. I want to focus on this driver. We don't do this enough because sometimes when you get out front and you're just turning some amazing lap times like Ernie Francis Jr. is, you know, you kind of get caught up in the wash as we see other battles going on around the track. But, man, again, you know, we talked about this last week. This driver keeping those fenders clean, keeping it on this car, turning laps in this portion, just nailing his braking zones, nailing those throttle zones, and little by little inching away from the rest of the field. And he has been able to do that. Not only this week, but he was able to do that later on in that run last week. As you can see him now taking that white flag as we follow Ernie around this track one more time. He's going to flash these lights showing, hey, man, I've got about 11.5-second lead, and I don't believe there's anybody going to be able to catch me. Now, he's going to notch win number 2 on the season in this Pro Series of USRA, showing himself to be one of the driver, if not the driver to beat in that Pro Series. He would be the driver to beat, as I believe he knows he is on camera, on screen, on broadcast, bringing this thing around, extending that points lead so far as we go into the 3rd race of the season. Ernie Francis Jr. coming around this long straightaway, and as he is flashing the lights, he's gaining more and more time on these drivers. Michael Hickman, again, starting to pressure the back end of Christian Proctor, but that is not going to be a position that is going to matter, as Christian is going to get your AM win. But this gentleman right here, Ernie Francis Jr., coming around that hairpin one last time here at Long Beach, round 2 of your USRA series. He is going to weave this thing right and left and cross that start finish line. Ernie Francis Jr. taking your win. And let's go back here to Christian Proctor, not to take anything away from him, as he is flashing his lights as well, crossing that start-finish line as your winner here for the AM division. Christian Proctor crossing that start-finish line. What a fantastic job by that driver. Michael Hickman coming home 3rd or 2nd to your pro drivers. Mark Samanchik is going to come home 2nd in your AM drivers, 4th on the field. Wade Moskowitz, Aikman Pollard, Trevor O'Neill, Ben Lawrence is going to come home in 8th position. Roy and Angel Rodriguez, if everything looks like all of these drivers passing your start-finish line. What a fantastic job by all of these drivers. Ernie and Christian bringing home the wins in their respective categories and fields. We're going to watch this driver take himself around. We're going to try to hide this battle box. Let's see if we can throw up your race results. And there you go. Ernie Francis Jr. taking your win. Christian Proctor in the AM division winning his division there. Michael Hickman, Mark Samanchik, Wade Moskowitz, Aikman Pollard, Trevor O'Neill, Ben Lawrence, Rory, Angel, Garrison, Dakota, Jeff Prochowski coming home in 13th with a great run earlier. Patrick Rich in 14th. A fantastic, strong start for that gentleman as well. Tyler Ebert, Tyler Crawford, Miles Gilsinger, Manuel Kolschneider, Zach Saunders, Rob White are going to round out your top 20. So we're going to see if we can hide that for you folks. And we're going to try to get some information in a few little conversations with your drivers. Let's see if we can get a hold of Ernie Francis. All right. So let's see who we've got in the waiting room. And we do have your 2 drivers in the waiting room. Let's see if we can bring them up now.
Right now, you got 0x.
So this
Nice.
is Ernie John in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, I got you.
Man, nothing like interrupting you as you're talking to gentlemen in your waiting booth. But let's talk about your night, man. It looked like had a great qualifying run. You know, able to get around pretty quick, take the lead pretty quickly on in this race. And then it was just a matter of managing that pace, managing that gap. And it looked like once you started to extend that thing, really got your rhythm down, really had your braking and throttle rhythm down tonight. Walk me through this race, man, as you bring home your 2nd win in 2 races here at USRA.
Yeah, really a solid race. This one, I got to say, was a little bit less stressful than the last race we had at VIR. Not as much pressure on me in this one. We seem to have pretty good pace. I think the Porsche suits this track pretty well. I felt like I was pretty comfortable around the walls of this place and keeping the car off of them.
Go ahead, Ernie. Sorry.
green flag. Miles was hanging with us for a while there, and then we were able to kind of stretch out a gap. That yellow flag came at a pretty inopportune time as we had a big lead going there, but worked out for us. We were able to pass the guy that jumped us in the pit stops and just take home another win. So happy, thanks to my guys with Subpar Motorsports. My boy Christian, shout out to him for finishing P2 overall and P1 in class. That's a 1-2 for our team right there. So pretty happy with that. And yeah, looking forward to the next one.
Yeah, it looked like to me, throughout the course of the night, and I'm going to ask you this, is certainly with Long Beach being, what we consider a city track, what was more, were you really racing the track, racing the other drivers? Because I certainly know that some of these turns can get pretty tight. If you get pushy, you can hit those tough blocks pretty quickly. You can hit those tire barriers and really end your night. So were you really racing other drivers, racing the track? And then once you got some space out, what was going through your mind? Was it just making sure you hit your marks? And did you back that thing down? Or did you say, hey, I'm in a rhythm, I'm just going for it?
Yeah, no, I think once I got going, I was just racing the track, honestly, and honestly racing myself. I had a pretty solid pace going. We were running pretty much 19s, mid 19s the entire race, all but maybe 4 laps there. We were in the 20s. So my goal was just being consistent. I was just trying to knock down the same lap time over and over again. The last 10 laps of the race, we ran at like a 19.8, 19.7 back to back to back. So I was really just racing myself there at the end, racing the track, keeping the car off the walls, and doing my job, taking it home to the finish.
Well, you did a heck of a job, Ernie. We certainly appreciate that. That's going to be a 2 in a row for you as we look forward to next week. And maybe we can talk to you again here at 3 in a row. I know you gave your shout outs a little bit earlier, but anybody else you want to thank before we shoot you back down and let you celebrate with your team?
Once again, shouting out myself for sponsoring myself here. Buying my sim rig and getting me out here. Shout out to my team, Subpar Motorsports. All those guys are, a lot of fun. I love racing with them on here. And, it's pretty cool. See you guys at the next one next week. Hopefully we can do it again.
Yeah, we appreciate that. And as always, man, we appreciate you and everything that you do here for us and for this league. So thank you very much. We'll see you next week.
All right. Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, so there is your winner of the Pro Division, and that is going to be Ernie Francis Jr., bringing home yet another win. Now, we're going to go back over here and see if we can talk to his teammate in Christian Proctor. So we're going to see if we can bring him up to the booth. Christian, this is John in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Well, man, it's a pleasure to speak to you. I will tell you, you had a fantastic run last week at VIR. Certainly you were the most favorite of a paint scheme last week, but tonight just put on a heck of a show. You showed a lot of pace early. It looked like every time you were always moving forward. You were always catching the person in front of you. And after that caution, you had that opportunity. You got into second on the field, and man, you did not look back. Walk me through your race. Walk me through that battle with Hickman there for about the past 10 or 15 minutes. And man, you bring home the win here in the AM division.
Man, I'll tell you, I was stressing, not gonna lie. Trying to keep pace in front of Hickman there was definitely getting my nerves going. I was getting a little nervous there. But yeah, I didn't qualify up as high as I wanted to. I ran really good during practice, ran some good laps, and qualifying came, and I don't know what happened. I just fell on my face there. But yeah, I pushed through the field. I was battling. I forgot. I don't remember who it was. The Mustang. Right before the caution came out, I faked him down on the inside on turn 6, and I think I may have scared him a little bit and pushed him into the wall. I didn't touch him. I don't think. Hope I didn't touch him. But yeah, after that caution, I got a good restart there and was pushing the silver Corvette. I wasn't paying attention to names or anything. But yeah, I got a good restart, and Ernie just ran away with it.
Yeah, he really had a lot of good pace, but you did too. And it looked like, it seemed to me once you got into a rhythm, and it almost seemed, once everything kind of got scattered out a little bit and you got into that rhythm, you were turning some amazing lap times, really fast here at Long Beach. It puts you on the map in that AM division. We'll have to see how the points are going to shake out, but man, you had a fantastic night here, Christian. Fantastic job watching you run around this Long Beach track, man. So we're going to turn it over to you, let you give your shout outs tonight, and then we'll get you back to celebrate with your team.
Man, I just wanna thank my team. Ernie, Carson, Robert. We know, well, y'all know him as Robert, but Marty. Yeah, Ernie kind of got me in here and kind of told me to run it, so I started running it. And I don't think I'd be as good at GT3 if it wasn't for him. He helps me out a lot, so I appreciate that. Appreciate the team.
Yeah, you did a heck of a job. Way to come home as the winner here in the AM division tonight. Congratulations. We'll see you next week.
Appreciate it. Hey, look out for that mystery machine.
We got you. All right, so there is Christian Proctor. He is your AM division winner tonight. So what a great job by that driver. And we just saw, I got to tell you, I feel like, the drivers that had the most pace tonight in both of those divisions were your two drivers that won. Can't thank those guys enough. Can't thank everybody out there that was watching us. If you have not liked it, if you have not followed, please make sure that you do both of those things. We would certainly appreciate that. We are coming to you next week, the exact same time, and we're going to be back here with USRA, and we are going to bring you round 3 of this battle here in the very first season of the USRA League. So certainly appreciate that. Thank you very much. I am John Ross, your broadcaster, and we will talk to you soon.